First question, best head coach in the game is blank.
Oh, what are you doing? You're targeting me. Mike McCarthy. We're doing this year, right?
This year. Right now, the best head coach in this game is...
Yeah. This is one of those things where if you said, hey, you're starting a franchise, I would take their head coach and their quarterback. But if you said, hey, who's better right this second, I'll take my quarterback and my head coach.
Gavin?
I got to go with Andy Reid. I think Jeff makes a good point. Maybe Mike's outworking him this year. Maybe Dak's outplaying Patrick Mahomes as well. But I'll take it as, who is just the better head coach as an individual. And if you look at it that way, I'd say it's Andy Reid by a landslide, which they could create if they were standing next to each other.
It's funny. Andy has won more games and has been a head coach longer and stuff. Yeah. I know Andy. He's a friend of mine, stuff like that. I do have
hell of a guy.
But I think there's things, if you look at his team, you would have to say that his team is underachieved with him as a head coach this season.
For sure.
Where maybe Mike McCarthy's team has, because of some of the things he's done. And we've talked about this. Again, this wasn't a setup, but I just wanted to try and give Mike a little credit here, that maybe that in this matchup, Jeff would say, and you would say Andy, and, I would probably say
it's all about adaptation to me. That's a big key for a coach. Circumstances are going to be different every year.
Andy can mess up this game just as easy as Mike can.
With his game management?
Yeah, with his game management. There could be a part in this game where all of a sudden it's like, hey, Andy Reid, he burns a timeout, burns another one, does something, challenges something he probably shouldn't have challenged. There's things that he's capable. So I do want to give Mike McCarthy some credit because I do think that Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach. I really do. With the Super Bowl and the number of games.
He's a timeout burner.
He is a timeout burner. And there's a challenge burner and all that. Bad look. Okay, for the Cowboys, blank can't kill us. For the Cowboys, blank can't kill us. Now, it could be for the Cowboys, a Kansas City player or somebody on your own.
I would say the Chiefs' running game can't kill us. If that's going to be a factor, then you showed up with bad Cowboys defense. And I don't think it's going to show up very often, but when it does, it can be a tragic look for them.
I'm going to say Tyreek Hill because I think there's something interesting that's happening in this matchup. This is a bad matchup for the Cowboys. I think they can win it because I think this year they're the better football team. But the quote formula to beating Kansas City is 2 deep safeties, rush 4. You're missing your best pass rushers. You don't really play 2 deep. You play 1 deep. So the matchup is actually, I think, what Kansas City wants, and they're at home. So I think they have a lot of things going for them. You have to find a way without necessarily the personnel to do what other teams have done to Kansas City, to do that to Kansas City. So I'll say Tyreek Hill, the deep threat.
I kind of like what Gavin was saying about this. I do worry about, even though Kansas City doesn't run the football or really want to run the football, I wonder if it's one of those things like you were just talking about, Jeff. The Cowboys probably don't want to play cover 2 in this game. They probably don't. But, it's kind of like they might have to. Kansas City might have to run the football. I think they're worried about Dallas's offense. I think they're worried about their defense getting exposed. You talk about blueprints and things like that. If Kansas City could find a way to sustain drives running the football, maybe they don't run it on first down, maybe they run on second down, run when you don't think they're gonna pass, that kind of stuff. So I'm with Gavin. I think that I worry about Kansas City just saying, you know what, this is not our MO. We're not very good at it, but let's see if we can do it. And I didn't think that maybe Denver had 2 quality backs, so we'll see. Maybe it's a way to kind of keep the Cowboy offense off the field. So. Okay, playing fill in the blank here, Cowboys and Chiefs. Okay, there is no reason the Cowboys shouldn't be able to do blank in this game.
Score 30 plus. They're better defensively than they were early in the year, but this is still somewhere between the 25th and 32nd best defense in football. There is no reason you shouldn't be able to, do what the Cowboys do. Which, I was going to say, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to throw the ball. Well, if they play to throw the ball, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to run the ball. The Chiefs defensively have some decent to good players, but not enough to be called a good defense or anything close to that. So the Cowboys should be able to do whatever they invite you to do, which has been Cowboy football all year. You dare me to run? I'm going to run it down your throat. You dare me to throw? I'm I'm going to drop bombs. You should be able to do those things against Kansas City.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's the right answer. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to score. But if you wanted to throw the gauntlet down to the Cowboys, like there's no reason you shouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah.
I would say be flexible with your defensive approach, right? You saw what happened against the Raiders. Don't say, this is what we do.
Yeah.
It's obvious Patrick Mahomes is struggling if you play more coverage. So do it. And don't say, like some coaches are capable of reinventing big portions of their approach week in and week out. So don't tell me you can't do this against Patrick Mahomes, who's clearly struggling against it.
I like that, what you're saying. I'm going to say this. I think there's no reason the Cowboys shouldn't be able to pass the football, and I mean protect. I think I think the Cowboys can protect in this game. I think the Chiefs have struggled with some of their pass rush. And, you played a team last week, we said, in the Atlanta Falcons that didn't really rush the passer all that well. The Chiefs are down near them when it comes to getting pressure on your quarterback. So if your offensive line, if you have the movement, if you've taken Connor Williams out there like I think they might do and put Connor McGovern at left guard, I think you'll be able to protect in this football game. And we talk about running. I think, hey, get this line going one way, cut that ball back. I'm all about that. I think they'll be able to protect in this game, and I think they'll be able to make some plays in this game. Okay, the best quarterback in this game is blank.
It's going to go back to semantics. Did a video this morning. We'll talk about this at 4:20 again, Brian, where we'll do the tail of the tape. If you were starting a franchise tomorrow, I think at least 30 of the 32 GMs would take Pat Mahomes. If you want to know who's playing better football this NFL football season, it's Dak Prescott. So my interpretation of your question is the answer is Dak.
General?
Best quarterback in the game?
Best quarterback in this game is?
Yeah, it is Patrick Mahomes. When these careers are done, nobody's going to say Dak had a better career than Patrick Mahomes. Jeff makes good points, though.
Yeah. I kind of feel like, though, that the thing that I worry about Mahomes is kind of getting some things back. You were starting to see that game last week, and the Cowboys had a big bounce-back game. Both teams had huge bounce-back games. I will say this, though. I do feel like, though, the team, like I said earlier, the team that will protect better will be the Cowboys. And maybe that will show up to help Dak, maybe beat Mahomes in this game.
I'm not sold from last week. The two previous games were not impressive from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think this is like the opposite of what happened when the Cowboys lost to Denver. Like a team had been playing great,
Sure.
and you say, oh, but look at that. Is that the real them?
Mm-hmm.
And the Chiefs have been playing mediocre, and then they have one big game offensively. Oh, that's the real them. Probably not. I would trust the previous 8 games more than that one.
I like it. And my final question for you guys, blank will have a big game for the Cowboys.
They have one good corner, right? What's his name? Is it Henson?
It depends.
Henson?
I mean, so Fenton is like, according to Pro Football Focus, he's the second best corner in football. But I don't think
he's not good.
Well, no, I'm just saying I don't
Ward
think
is
he's
on
that.
Yeah, I don't think Fenton watching tape. I think people attack him. So
yeah,
okay, so
I think all of them
receivers.
are okay. I think Snead's okay. I think Ward is okay. I think all of them are okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably go Lamb because
Okay.
I think he'll be in the slot with Gallup back. I think CD gets a lot of the slot looks. So I'll take CD unless you want CD. Then you can take CD, and I'll take a runner.
I'll go Dak.
Okay.
I'll go Dak.
I like it.
Back-to-back Hall of Fame games.
I think Pollard has a big game here. I think that you're going to get in when they
Should I put him back in my lineup? I had some buys last week.
Well,
I
let
had
me
to
tell you
play
this
him.
real quick, though.
Okay.
I think when you watch the Chiefs, I know you do, I think you're going to get their line to go one way, and the ball's going to cut back behind these blocks. I think the Cowboys are going to be able to push these guys one direction with how they're going to attack and then cut the ball back. That is perfect for how Pollard's going to play this football game. I would not be surprised for him to have a really big game.